Yo, welcome back everybody to a brand new video here on the second channel. We got some brand new cards from the original 151 set to take a look at today. There are some other cards that I forgot to look at a while back, and these were the Toadscruel, Palmon, Houndstone EX. I forgot to take a look at those cards too, so I thought I would include these in these video. We didn't get a whole lot of new cards revealed, but there are some interesting new cards here that did get revealed from the original 151 set. We got a brand new Jynx EX, which might actually be playable. We got some Nidoking and Nidoqueen cards, and we even got some new trainer cards, a new tool card that looks kind of decent. So let's take a look here at some of the new cards. If you're all excited for the video, make sure to leave a like, and if you're new to the second channel, make sure to click that subscribe button down below. We are getting closer to 5,000 subscribers here on the second channel, so if you want to go ahead and click that sub button if you haven't already, make sure to click it. So let's take a look here at some of the new cards that got revealed. So we'll start things off with the Nidoqueen line. Now, it's interesting that Nidoran, Nidorina, and Nidoqueen are all dark Pokemon. And again, being a dark Pokemon right now ain't a bad thing considering how popular Gardevoir and Mew both are. So Nidoqueen's got the attack Queen Press that does 90 damage, and then during your opponent's next turn, you prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from basic Pokemon. Not terrible. We all know that being immune to basic Pokemon does have some upsides. You can prevent being damaged, you know, by Cramorant, Raikou, basic EXs like Miraidon. It's an okay attack, nothing crazy to write home about. I think Nidoqueen is definitely more of a support Pokemon for the main Nidoking card. So yeah, we got Nidoran and Nidorino, which are also dark Pokemon. So it's actually interesting that they've decided to make the entire line dark, because yes, Nidoking is also a dark Pokemon. Now, Nidoking is a really interesting card, and it actually might be decent. So it's got the ability King's Vigor. If Nidoqueen is on your bench, this Pokemon's attacks cost no energy. So this Pokemon gets to attack for free if you have a Nidoqueen in play. And it's got the attack Venom Impact that does 190 damage. Then your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. This Pokemon essentially does 190 or 200 damage for free if you want to include the poison damage. Now, being able to do that much damage for no energy whatsoever is pretty bonkers. Now, Nidoking, of course, is a Stage 2, and so is Nidoqueen. So in order to kind of make this strategy work, you are going to have to play heavy Rare Candy and heavy Nidorinos. You can even try to play Evolving Skies Zoroark to try to just chain the Nidos in play. Because, again, being able to attack for free like that is pretty bananas. I'm not going to lie. It is pretty strong that you're able to attack for free with Nidoking. And, again, you're doing a decent chunk of damage. I mean, you're literally one-hit KOing Mew and Gardevoir. This technically you can turn this ability into a weaker Drapion. You know, we got Drapion V at home. But yeah, no, Nidoking's kind of cool. Definitely going to be a fun deck to play. Again, a lot of damage. You can increase it with Hisuian Sneasler to like do even more damage with Venom Impacts. That's kind of cool. It's just going to be a struggle of trying to constantly, you know, chain the Nidos. We got new Hypno here with an ability. When you place Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, during your turn, you may leave your opponent's active Pokemon to sleep. So you evolve your Hypno, and you put your opponent's active to sleep for evolving it. Now, keep in mind, there is no more Scoop Up Net in the format. There's no De-Evolution Spray. There's no way to kind of use Hypno twice, so keep that in mind. But the ability will be very relevant here in a sec when we take a look at the brand new Jynx. Now, Jynx EX is actually somewhat playable. So yeah, we got this new Jynx with the attack Badum Kiss for a water and a double turbo, which also keep that in mind. If your opponent's active Pokemon is asleep, it is knocked out. So essentially, this Pokemon instantly KOs anything with its attack if they are asleep. And of course, one of the best ways to put them to sleep is, of course, through Hypno. There are some other ways I think you can abuse sleep, not just through Hypno. Now, the attack cost is actually solid. I mean, one water and a double turbo does mean you can play this with, you know, just attachment plus DTE. You could do Raihan to build this thing up. You could play Baxcalibur, but that's probably just too slow. Yeah, Jynx EX honestly isn't bad. I do like that attack. I mean, insta-KO attacks are always pretty strong, and being able to put the opponent to sleep is pretty good. And I actually can see Jynx seeing a bit of play. Again, there are other sleep cards in the format that Jynx does synergize pretty well with, and Hypno is one of the main ones. Jynx Hypno is actually going to be an archetype that you can play. It might be a fun little rogue, so keep your eye out on Jynx EX. Definitely is interesting. And again, just being able to instantly knock something out is insane. I mean, you're KOing anything. You're KOing any 3 prizers, 2 prizers in the active spot. You're insta-KOing EX Pokemon with a ton of HP, like Gardevoir, so keep that in mind when playing Jynx. We got a couple new trainer cards here, too, to round out this video. We got Big Balloon. The Stage 2 Pokemon this card is attached to has no retreat cost. So, basically, it's Float Stone, but only on Stage 2 Pokemon. Now, there are some interesting Stage 2s you could play this with. I mean, you could play it with Gardevoir EX. You could play it with any other EX, like Magnezone EX. But the big thing is there's a Solgaleo card from Celebrations that this card actually could be solid with. So there's a Solgaleo Stage 2 that has an ability where you can switch it into the active spot. So if it's on your bench, you can just move it into the active for free. And then if you have the big balloon on it, you can retreat for free. So you basically give yourself like the Russian ability from like Keldeo. The problem is it is a Stage 2, but Big Balloon does give that some benefits. And if you are playing a Stage 2 deck, there is some benefits of just playing a Big Balloon in your deck. Because again, having a free retreat pivot again is a pretty good thing. I mean, Air Balloon was a pretty big loss with rotation, you know, relying on Switch and Rope now. So yeah, losing Air Balloon was a big deal, but we kind of got this pseudo reprint kind of with Big Balloon, which is only good with Stage 2s, and there's not that many good Stage 2s out there, but there are a decent amount of Stage 2s this card could work with. And finally, we got Bill's Transfer. It's a supporter card where you can look at the top 8 cards of your deck. You may reveal any number of Pokemon you find there and put them in your hand. So I rate it. It's basically Candace almost, but for Pokemon only. And I think Candace was top 7, where Bill is top 8, I'm pretty sure. But I actually kind of like that. There's some decks where this card could actually be decent in. I mean, being able to just get potentially, like, you know, a decent chunk of Pokemon is good. Like, if you look at the top 8 cards of your deck and you see, like, you know, 3 Pokemon, that's a lot of value in a supporter card. Like, I honestly do not hate Bill. Like, if you can find Bill with, like, Bibarel and Squilvet, you can use Bibarel as your draw card for the turn, and then you can use Bill as, you know, a way to find multiple Pokemon at once. I actually don't hate this card. I'm not sure how much play it will see, to be honest, because it's not, like, super duper playable or anything. I definitely think that it's fascinating, though. Let me know what you think of Bill's Transfer down in the comments below. I'd be interested to hear, because I actually do like this card. I just got to figure out the best way to play it. But yeah, all these new cards that got revealed, honestly, they're all, like, semi-playable. I mean, Nidoking's kind of cool. Jynx is definitely decent with Hypno. And there's other Pokemon, and there's other cards and Pokemon, I guess, in the format that do work with Jynx's attack. I can't remember most of them off the top of my head, but there are cards out there that will work with Jynx also, not just Hypno in our standard format. Now, I do want to take a look at these cards. I never got the chance to look at these cards when they got revealed. I kind of forgot to look at them, but I wanted to do it now. This video is a bit shorter, so I was like, yeah, why not just talk about these while we're at it. So yeah, we got these new cards that got revealed here a while back. Toedscruel, Pawmont, and Houndstone EX. They're probably going to be in like a battle kit like Ampharos and Lucario were. Or these will be in our main set. I guess we're going to find out. So yeah, Toedscruel EX is actually a pretty good counter to Lost Box. So it's got the ability Protective Charm, prevent all effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon, done to all of your Pokemon with energy on them. Then we got Colony Rush, does 80 plus 40 more damage for each of your bench Pokemon with grass energy attached, which is actually a pretty decent attack, to be honest. But yeah, overall, that ability is really good. The main kind of draw with this ability is that, yes, it basically is Lost Mine proof. So it's got Espeon VMAX's ability. Now, the nice thing about Toedscruel is, one, it's on a 2-prize EX Pokemon as opposed to Espeon, which is on a 3-prize VMAX Pokemon. Now, Espeon's decent against Sableye. You know, being able to prevent Lost Mine is pretty powerful. The issue with Espeon is that it's also very easy to be boss KO'd by a Drapion. A lot of Lost Zone decks play a 1-of Drapion, and they can just go attach. You know, they can just Mirage Gate, attach, whatever, and then just boss your Espeon and just KO with Drapion V's, and that would be very annoying. So, Toedscruel is honestly better for the format than Espeon. Like, Espeon's definitely a really strong card, but I think Toedscruel ultimately might just be the better kind of wall kind of effect where you prevent Sableye, because it's a stronger Pokemon, or it's not as strong, but it's also not weak to Dark, and it's not a VMAX, and it's honestly not too hard to get into play. It does evolve from the Tentacruel. I forgot what the Tentacool is called. It evolves from like the Toedscruel. Yeah, it evolves from Toedscruel. So you don't have to like put a V in play either. You can just play a 1-prize Pokemon with like 60, 70 HP. So it's not as hard for your opponent to like take an easy 2-prize kill like Espeon is. So overall, this is better than Espeon in my opinion in some scenarios. And then of course, Colony Rush does 80, and then it can do a decent chunk of damage. I mean, I don't know how you're going to play this. You can of course maybe try it out in the new Fortress EX deck. So we'll have to see where Toedscruel goes. Next up, we got Pawmont EX, 300 HP, Stage 2 Pokemon. It's got Zap Kick, 1 for 60. It's fair enough, I guess. But then you got the attack, Lightning Strike. Discard 2 Lightning Energy from this Pokemon. And if you do, this attack does 220 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So it's basically like Garchomp EX, or Garchomp V, sorry, where you can Snipe Sling for 200, but you have to discard 3 energy. This discards both Lightning and can Snipe for 220. Not bad. I mean, yes, Manaphy does exist, but if your opponent's not playing Manaphy, this attack's actually not bad. I mean, a 220 Snipe is good. It's got a free retreat cost, so you can play it with Flaffy. You can snipe with Palmon, and then, of course, with Flaffy, you can just easily Dynamotor back to another Palmon on the bench. You have the other Palmon you could play, too, if you really wanted to. You could play, the other Palmon that we did a video on a while back that self-accelerates energy to itself. So there are some decent benefits of this card. I don't hate it. I think Palmon's kind of cool. Will it be good in, like, a Flaffy Miraidon box deck? I'm not too sure. But being able to snipe for 220 like that is pretty strong. It's on any Pokemon, so if your opponent doesn't have a Manaphy in play, or you happen to KO it, or they prize it, or, they're just not playing Manaphy, because there are decks out there that don't play Manaphy, you can just snipe for 220 for free. Like, you can use this to KO Luminions, you can KO basic V Pokemon, basic EXs can get KO too by this attack, so definitely not a bad card. And then finally, we got Houndstone EX. Now, Houndstone EX has 260 HP on a Stage 1 Pokemon, and it's got the attack Big Bite that does 30, and then the defending Pokemon can't retreat. And then the main attack, Last Respects, does 160 damage, and does 10 more damage for each Psychic Pokemon in your discard pile. So, we looked at the Houndstone Graveyard deck a couple weeks back, and the basic gist of that deck is you're doing, I think you're doing 80 plus 10 more damage for each Psychic Pokemon in your discard pile. This is doing 160 plus 10. This attack can actually do quite a bit of damage pretty quickly. Now, the downside of Houndstone is that it is, of course, a 2-prizer, and you have to play 3 energy to power this thing up. Now, there is one way, of course, that we can cheat this. We can play Gardevoir EX. So, Gardevoir EX Houndstone might have to be a legit deck. I mean, Houndstone does a lot of damage. If you're able to get, a ton of Pokemon in your discard pile really quickly, in the Houndstone video I did, I was playing, I think I played like 30 plus Pokemon in the deck, like 30 plus Psychic Pokemon. So if you're able to get like 10 in the discard pile, you're doing like 260 damage. You can hit pretty hard, and this definitely is a strong card with Gardevoir. Is it as good as like Zacian V with Sky Seal Stone? Debatable that it is and it isn't, because it can do a lot more damage, and you don't have to put as much energy. I mean, you only need 3 energy on it. You can even just go 2 energy on the Houndstone and then attach return, because you only have 260 HP. You don't have unlimited health. You only have 260 HP, so it is easier to get yourself KO'd. But I definitely do like Houndstone quite a bit. Again, if you're playing Gardevoir, you're going to play this in like a Mewtwo V-Union deck, and you have this big one-hit KO attacker with Houndstone, while you also have like the option to use Mewtwo, so that's kind of cool. So I really like Houndstone. I think it's actually a pretty playable card, and I think it might be good. And then, of course, we got the evolution before them. But yeah, honestly, all 3 of these new EXs are decent. I never got a chance to look at them when they came out, but I kind of forgot about it, and I was like, well, you know what, I just remember these cards. I saw them on Twitter today. I'm like, oh, yeah, I saw them on Twitter. We should probably give them a look, you know what I mean? And I never did a video talking about these cards. But yeah, I definitely like these 3 new EXs. But yeah, of course, the big one here, of course, we got the new Jynx EX, which actually could be pretty good. Insta-KOing with Jynx will be pretty fun. There's some sleep cards we can pair this with. Let me know what you think of all these cards down below in the comments below. And again, if you haven't subbed already, make sure to click subscribe down below. Help me on the road to reaching 5K subs here on the channel, because we're getting very close now to 5,000 subs. We just hit 4,900 subscribers. That'll be it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and all the good stuff. Check out my all the stuff down below and all the good stuff. And I'll catch you on another video here on the second channel. And yeah, peace out, everybody.